So, a little backstory. I'm a huge researcher, and about 30 days ago, I thought, you know what? The weather's starting to get nice here in Ohio for like a week. And I thought, this would be a good time to look into getting an e bike. I can use it as an excuse that I'm going to try to exercise, but at the same time, I can get something kind of cool to just to kind of ride around town. And so I started doing some research, and my some of my goals were obviously under $1,000. I'm a bigger guy, so something that can, support my weight. I weigh roughly about too much, and so I wanted something that could support my weight and something that looked cool. And also another thing is that I always like to work on stuff, so I wanted something that I could upgrade in the future if I wanted to. So I looked online, and I actually started making a spreadsheet at one point because there were so many different bikes in this category that I was trying to compare all the notes and stuff between them. And like every time I would get it done, I would find like three more that kind of met, the same kind of criteria. So one bike that kept coming back to me is the Jasion, the YR20. And I started doing some research again on that one. And, like most people, I'm not going to buy anything on until I've read, a couple reviews or watched something on YouTube, at least something just to kind of see somebody that kind of fits the same criteria myself to that wants to use it. And I couldn't find anything on this bike. It was so new. So I reached out to Jason and I said, hey, would you guys be interested in partnering with me? Um, I'll do a review and we can see if this is something that would work out really well. Didn't really expect to kind of hear back, but believe it or not, this past Monday in the mail, I got one. They sent me one in the mail, and we're going to check it out. So stick around. We're going to do an unboxing, put it together. I'm going to talk a lot about it and kind of give you my viewpoints, some of the good things, some of the bad things, and we're going to kind of put it to the test. All right, let's check out some of the specs on the Jasion YR20. It has a 1,000-watt motor with a 2,000-watt peak, 48-volt, 20 amp hour battery. It comes with a 3 amp charger. The range on the bike is anywhere from 60 to 80 miles, obviously depending on your speed, how much you pedal, and your weight. The bike itself weighs 87 pounds with a max payload of 330 pounds. It has 5 levels of pedal assist, with the top speed being 30 plus miles per hour. The YR20 does have 4 riding modes: pedal only, pedal assist, throttle only, and walk assist if you need to push the bike to get it out of someplace. It comes with a 20-inch by 4-inch puncture resistant tire, so it is a true fat tire bike. Front and rear hydraulic disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors. The bike does have a dual suspension. In the front, it is a non-adjustable fork, but in the rear it has dual shocks. The YR20 does have a front headlight and a rear brake light with integrated left and right turn signals on the rear. Finally, the gearing on the bike is a Shimano 7-speed with a half throttle. All right, so that's for my basic rundown of it. I'm going to get more into the settings, and I'm going to do my first ride tomorrow. We're running out of daylight for today, but again, I'm super excited about it. It seems really well put together. It is a solid bike. It's a 7-speed. It's got some passenger foot pegs, and it even says on their site that it is for 2 people. Obviously, with my weight, it's going to be like me and maybe a stuffed animal or something, but that's going to be it. Another thing I noticed when I'm putting it together, I mean, these are metal. These are not like a cheap plastic, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, fenders went on really well. They look good. This one did show up, I think, as the way it was sitting in the shipping box. This fender right here, if you can see, has got a little bend in it. Not a big deal. But again, the welds on this bike are super clean. Paint is really good. Seat is also really comfy. Again, it's already more than I expected as far as quality. Really excited to take it out for its first ride tomorrow. Stay tuned. Okay. All right. It's a beautiful sunny day. Go for our first ride. Got the power switch here on the side on. Good full battery. Press and hold the power button. Now obviously I'm pretty tall, so pedal assist is going to be what I'm going to use primarily because I'm just a big dude. So I'm going to go ahead and roll down the driveway first. See how she goes. Yeah, I'm definitely too tall for it. So I'm on pedal assist 1 going about 10 miles an hour. Let's jump up to 2, throttle only. 16.7. The front suspension's pretty firm. When I originally was working with Jasion, they had the manual they had sent me said that the front suspension was adjustable, and I kind of went off of that. And then once I got it together and I started looking at the controls, I realized, yeah, it's not. I reached out to them. They said that that was a marketing error, and they have now taken it off their website and they updated their manual. Let's go up now to pedal assist 3. We're going 21.6 miles an hour. I mean, it's a smooth bike. Brakes feel good, a little noisy. I heard that is something with Jason. They've got some nice loud disc brakes. So let's try this hill here. This is a pretty good hill we're looking at here. Still 19 miles an hour. I'm 300 pounds. And it's holding pretty well. It's using 1,300 watts right now. So that's pretty good. All right, so this is a pretty busy street right here. Let's get the camera adjusted a little bit. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to jump up to pedal assist 5. We're going to turn right. Again, this is a pretty busy street in front of my house, which is good. See how we do with traffic. "21, 22, 23. We're going down a hill right now. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad. I'm going to use my right turn signal, and I'm going to turn into this little park area right here. This is a pretty popular bike path around here. We got over 30 miles, almost 30 miles an hour here. Again, most of it was downhill. But even new, picking up speed, it did really, really well. All right, staying on pedal assist 5. Let's go right on this bike path here. The front wheel wants to take up. Pretty good off road there. No motor vehicles. It was what that sign just said, but in parentheses it said except e-bikes. But it's with that disappearing ink. So I've been riding this whole time since I turned my left turn signal on to come into this area. I've been riding with my turn signal on. I just noticed it. That is one thing I wish they would change, is maybe just some kind of indicator on the display to tell you, if you're have your turn signal on or not, or maybe if it's on too long, maybe it beeps or something. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we're gonna go do a 0. Start from 0. Completely pedal assist 5. Right now, going 20 miles an hour using 1,300 watts. Okay, so I've had the bike for a couple weeks now. I've gone out for 3 or 4 rides. A couple of them pretty extreme as far as me and this bike just going off-road and going on stuff I probably really shouldn't be going on to. And I want to base my final part of this review on 4 different things. One is build, how well is the build quality? The second one is function. Does it live up to what the manufacturer says it can do? The third one is fun, and not just the fun, but is it enjoyable to ride? Not just it's an e-bike, but like you ride it for a long time, and it's something you feel safe letting your friends use, something like that. And then the last one is the HC factor, and that's just something I've added, and it's more of can the bike handle a bigger guy? All right, so let's talk about the build quality. This isn't using super high-end parts on this bike, but I'll say the quality is really, really good. I think for them to stay in the price range that they did, some of the sacrifices they made were are you able to adjust the front and rear suspension? The front is just a regular fork. It does have some suspension to it, but you cannot adjust it. And same with the rear. It's got the 2 rear shocks. It looks like they have air bladders on it, like they're air shocks, but I did talk to Jasion, and that is not the case. It's more cosmetic. But as far as everything else, it's really, really good. I had some trouble when I got it out today. When I went to pull it out of the garage, the disc brakes were super loud in the front. I actually had to pull the wheel off and adjust it a little bit. I went pretty hard on the last time I rode it, and I don't know if it's just because it sat for a while. Nothing big. The second part is functionality. I know in talking with Jason, they wanted me to really take it on the road, but they also wanted me to take it off-road. And again, it might just be a limitation of my size, but I do not see this as something that you can safely go off-road. By off-road, you mean riding in some grass, some grass that's not too tall, maybe nothing that's too bumpy. It's just, one is it, at least for me, doesn't have enough torque. So like if you're on a hill or anything like that, you're kind of stuck. But as far as the components, it's a good mix. Brakes are great for what they are. The motor, again, when you're on the street, I can easily, even with my size on a flat level road, I can go 30 miles an hour, between 28 and 30 miles an hour pretty consistently. I still have not gotten a really good feel for the battery, like how long the range will actually get. I've been riding today, let's see, 7 miles, and with that 7 miles, I've done most of it was off-road. I would say 4 to 5 miles of it was off-road, just going up and down hills, walking the bike, like really just pushing it. It still says it has 64% battery. My guess is you're going to get anywhere from 20 to 30 miles if you're a bigger guy and you're going all out on it. The third thing I want to talk about is the fun. Is it a fun bike? As a first moped style bike, this is a really fun bike. I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I've actually gone out with my stepkids and we've went and rode around the block a couple times. My stepdaughter sat with me on the bike on the front and sat on front of me, and we drove around, and she just loved it. It's a fun bike. I definitely can see myself, my son riding it. I'm going to guess that the maintenance on it is probably going to be very, very low if you take good care of it. So the last thing in my review is the HC factor. So the HC factor, how does it handle a big guy like me? Someone like me that likes to work on stuff, is it upgradable? So yes, for a big guy like me, I don't think you're going to find anything else in this price range under $1,000 that has 330 pound weight limit. It still handles me really well. Top speed of the bike is 30 plus. I never expected to reach that because of my size, and it has done that and then some. Let's talk about upgrades. 2 things I would do right away is suspension. I think that's the weak part of this bike. The front suspension really should be adjustable. If they really want this to go off-road and be for the street, there's no way your suspension adjustments on the front fork will be good for both. You can't just have one setting and it works for both. For street riding, for everyday use, like a regular bike around town, you know, going to the gas station, to the grocery store, going out with some friends, getting some ice cream, cruising around town, that kind of stuff, suspensions is fine. So final verdict, I think this is a great bike. I mean, people, are going to say that, under $1,000 is a budget bike. I mean, that is still not cheap for most people. And this is still a lot of bike for $1,000. You get something that gets decent range, a great top speed, and it rides really, really well. If someone were to reach out to me and ask me for a recommended first moped style bike, it's going to last me for, a while. This bike is going to definitely be it. But again, this still is not a cheap bike. I mean, it's only on the low end because there are some bikes that are really overpriced. It's the best bang for the buck. They used the highest end components they could while still making it a bike that's obtainable for most people. So yeah, that's my review. So don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button. I'd love to have your comments. If there's anything else that I missed in my review that you want to know about, please, reach out to me, let me know, and I'll get out to you as soon as I can.